So the first thing that we'll have the athlete do is warm up on the bike. And basically in this position, which we would call bottom dead center, pull your foot back just a touch. We'll take a basic angle measurement with what we call a goniometer. And we'll basically use 3 landmarks on the body to take this measurement. And here at Colorado Multisport, we do this both statically and dynamically. Statically in terms of having the athlete stopped at the bottom of their stroke and taking the measurement from the greater trochanter, where the ball end of the femur comes into the hip joint, the center of the knee joint, which we'll use the lateral condyle, and then the lateral malleolus, the outside ankle bone. And those 3 points give us an angle that we want to shoot for is about 150 degrees for most triathletes who have an average range of motion, right? It's another piece of the puzzle that we do here is we do range of motion analysis, something real rudimentary, but it gives us a sense for the flexibility of each individual athlete because the fit should be as individual as that athlete. So once we establish a good saddle position, a good saddle height, which Fred has actually set up pretty well here, then we will do some experiments to determine which seat angle works better for each individual. And this brings up something that's very contentious, which is what is the right seat angle for each athlete. And basically, we tend to let the triathlete self-select a seat angle. So we can do a variety of experiments from, say, 73 degrees, which would be a more standard road position, all the way up to 78 to 80 degrees, which is a very steep, aggressive, sort of new school triathlon style time trial position, and see which the athlete prefers. As the seat angle gets steeper, the idea is that biases a higher pedaling cadence, thus a higher effort level, and it also favors muscle groups in the legs, which allow the athlete to run more effectively off the bike, which of course is the point in a triathlon fit versus a standard road fit, or even a standard time trial fit for a road cyclist when you're talking about UCI racing. Aero bar position, mostly what we're concerned about is that the athlete can maintain a good angle of attack here in the hips and then here at the arms, so that he's supported using his skeletal system as opposed to using his muscular system, right? And generally, in terms of bar width here, we just want to make sure that the elbows are about even with the thighs, and that he's not creating a big giant fairing up front with his arms spread really wide apart, so that he has presents a big frontal area to the wind as he's riding along. Once we've allowed the athlete and helped them select a seat angle, so again, Fred is here at 76.5 degrees. Then we're going to work on the front end position. A lot of times what I'll do is use a spin scan analysis to see where he's able to produce the most power. So we'll do a series of tests where we'll raise and lower the front end and allow him to do, say, a 2-minute interval just below LT, his lactate threshold, because we have heart rate and we have the athlete's own knowledge of their own body and their perceived exertion. And we sort of adjust the front end of this bike until they find a position that they're comfortable in. Our fit process takes about 3 hours. And at the end of that 3 hours, I'm going to know Fred pretty well, probably better than he would like. And what we hope is that we have a good rapport then, that we can give each other, he can give me feedback as to how his training is going, how his bike is feeling, and I can make recommendations about changes to make to his bike. Basically, the really cool thing about the Serrata SciCycle is not just the instrumentation on the bike itself, but the fact that it's infinitely adjustable. So we can raise and lower that front end, right? I have a whole gallery of aero bars, just about every aero bar configuration out there, so that the athlete can actually experience what the bike is going to feel like on the SciCycle. And again, we have all that wattage and heart rate data that helps them analyze their own performance.